Welcome into my kitchen. Have you ever prepared turkey wings? Have you ever prepared turkey wings for some good old soul southern cornbread dressing? This is how I'm going to show you how I prepare mine. Now we're going to wash these up really good and we're going to get them ready to be seasoned. Now these are the seasonings that you will use. We're going to be marinating overnight the wings with these seasonings. If you guys have watched how I've used and seasoned my meat, you know I always love to use Goya. Goya is an excellent choice for seasoning. So I have my meat cleaned and lined up in the aluminum pans, or you could put them in roaster pans. All right, so let's get started adding our seasonings. And remember, season per your taste buds. I do not use salt, but all these seasonings may have a hint of some type of a salty taste to it. So using salt, I would not recommend. Now, sea salt is a little different from regular iodized salt. The sea salt is just there for soaking purposes as it marinates. It's not going to give it that salty or saltier taste than the salt. Now, I love using this Dale seasoning, and it has an awesome flavor. It is a little expensive, but it's worth it if you're seasoning your meats to use Dale seasoning. And then, of course, y'all know I gotta use my Worcestershire sauce. You know I have to use that. I definitely use that in my meats. Even if I'm making ground up meats like turkey or chicken, I use this Worcestershire sauce because it gives it that beefy flavor when you're using those ground meats. But it's an awesome seasoning sauce. We have our 2 sticks of butter. We're gonna melt that butter up and we're gonna pour it on our turkey wings. Now, once we get all this butter poured on, we're going to go in and massage everything into these turkey wings, y'all. Okay? Everything. Once we get it all massaged, we're gonna put them in, because we're gonna refrigerate these overnight, as I said earlier. But we're gonna put them in gallon-sized bags, and we'll refrigerate them overnight. I'm keeping this video in real time, you guys, because just the fact of massaging these turkey wings, it is so therapeutic, y'all. It is so therapeutic. Now, y'all can put gloves on your hands if you want to, but it ain't nothing like just digging in and just feeling in that meat, okay? As you see, we're taking the turkey wings and putting them in our gallon freezer bags, and we are making sure we get all that good old seasoning now, because you know we didn't put that seasoning in that pan for no reason. We want all that seasoning, y'all. So once we get all these wings in their bags, we are going to take some of that good old seasoning that's left in the pan, put a little water in there, and pour it over just a little bit, like maybe a half a cup to a cup of the water with the seasoning that's left in the pan. Pour it over in those freezer bags, so that as we massage them and get all the excess air out of those bags, that little extra water, seasoned water, is going to allow that seasonings that we put on these turkey wings to really get up in that meat, okay? Okay, so get ready because this is another fun part. We're back to massaging again. So we can get all this air out of these bags, all the air as much as you can. And then we're going to make sure it's sealed, flip them over, and we're just going to take and massage all those seasonings along with that seasoned water in on these wings. So once we get all that done, we're going to again refrigerate overnight. And once they've refrigerated overnight, we'll be back. Because then we'll have to go ahead and put them in the pan and set that oven on 350. Because these babies are going to bake in the oven, slow baking, for between 3 to 4 hours. Yes. And you'll check them every hour and a half just to see the progress of how they're baking up. All right, you guys, so it's the next day. Like I told you, what we were going to do, line them up in that pan. And don't they look good? So now we're going to take that extra virgin olive oil and we're going to spread it across the meat. And then as you see, we got our bell peppers, our onions, and our celery all cut up. Because remember, we are preparing these wings for some good old homemade dressing, y'all. Southern cornbread dressing. For any holiday or any Sunday because it's soul food. All right, so now that we got everything in on top of the wings, now we're going to take all those veggies and just mix them all around. And by you spreading that oil on it before you put the veggies on it, it's going to make sure that those veggies get all that goodness in them that's seasoned in those meats, y'all. All right, so we're going to wrap them with aluminum foil, put them in the oven because the oven is preheated and ready to go. All right, you guys, so it's been baking in the oven for an hour and a half. That's the half of the baking time. So now we're just checking it. We're going to put it back in the oven because we want these babies tender like you want them. Okay? And they already getting there, y'all. Just an hour left to go. Now, do you all see all that good old broth, that goodness that's been made from these wings baking in the oven? Yes, all that goodness is going to be going into our cornbread for our cornbread dressing. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Oh, yeah. Just look at all that juju. Look at all that juju, y'all. That's some good old meat pot liquor. And you can also add this to your rice. Why y'all think my rice be so good and people love my rice? Yes, this juice, the pot liquor that come off the meat. Yes, 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 yes. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Share, share, share. Because that's how it gets out in the algorithm. Now, as you see, I've let these cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all that good old broth and we're going to pour it off to the side because we're going to use all that broth. All that broth we're going to use for our dressing. And if you want to make giblet gravy, you can also use it for the giblet gravy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look forward to watching my other cooking videos where I show you step by step the easy way to make my recipes, Southern style. If you have a special request, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, and share.